William, I have something I want to tell she could trust to keep them. Something this diary my grandmother gave me. It's my cousin Ramona's diary. She used to work with us at the asylum. She's dead now, but she had many secrets inside of her, and there was no one she could trust to keep them. So she wrote them all down. I will radio the diary entries to your audio log. If you find the time, you can listen.
It's in Polish, but I'll translate. Ramona writes, May 11th, 1940. I've only been back home for 3 days, and now the Nazis have arrived in town. They killed Jakub Brozek. He was shot in the head. His horse was blocking the road. He taught me how to French kiss. I'm going to do something about this situation. May 12th, 1940. The Nazis have taken over the police station. They're asking local people to volunteer for service. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to find a way to kill them. May 18th, 1940. Daytime, I care for the sick working at the asylum. On the evenings, I go to town to prepare supper for the Nazis at the police station. They seem to trust me. I think I can lure one of them away. If I can get a Nazi alone, I think I can kill him. I have never killed anyone. I don't know how to fight or fire a weapon. I will have to be smart about it. I miss the university. Perhaps what I'm about to do will be a learning experience. June 25, 1940. The Nazi appears to have a very high opinion of his mother. I learned this as he was bleeding to death at the end of my knife in the outhouse next to the bakery. Mutti, Mutti, he whimpered. My hands were shaking, nearly dropped my knife. I had told him I would kiss him, and he let me lead him outside into the night. November 29th, 1940. The Nazi appears to love his sausage. I learned this as he kept on eating his supper, even though the cyanide must have ruined the flavor. His eyes rolled back, all white, yet he kept chewing. The cyanide I stole from my mother's cabinet. At times, I am struck with pangs of remorse. But then, I think of Jakub Brozek. Ramona writes, May 2nd, 1941. The Nazi appears to become sleepy after climaxing. I learned this as his little soldiers were leaking out of me onto his sheets, and his face turned blue. From the rope I applied to his neck in his slumber. Tomorrow is my 18th birthday. May 29th, 1941. The Nazi appears to have been brought up lazy. I've learned this when I outran 3 of them carrying a crate of grenades. I think I'm pregnant. I wish I knew how to use a gun. Ramona writes, July 6, 1941. The Nazi appears to be overly devoted to his police station. I learned this while tossing grenades into the building. 7 grenades went in, but not a single Nazi came out. Does killing Nazis make me a murderer? Don't know. Don't think so. I'm not a soldier, but this is what soldiers do. And I have to steel myself from emotion, like a soldier does. August 9th, 1941. The Nazi appears to be highly gullible. I learned this as I pretended I was drowning and he dove in to save me, body armor and all. I had only to apply the gentlest of pressures to push him down until he stopped struggling. I am pregnant. It's not showing, but I think mother suspects. I've decided to find an apartment for myself. August 30th, 1941. I have my own apartment 2 floors above the bakery. I can't have this Nazi baby inside me anymore. It has to come out. I took some pills from my mother's cabinet. They did not work. All they did was make me sick. Ramona writes, September 3rd, 1941. The Nazi appears to be a reckless driver. I learned this after I cut his brake line and his car went over a cliff as he drove down the mountain. I didn't see it happen, but there was a picture in the paper. I had a friend at the university who successfully terminated her pregnancy through consumption of pennyroyal oils. I have written her for instructions. September 13th, 1941. A letter arrived from London today. I have procured a vial of pennyroyal oil. I have stolen some antibiotics from Mother. I won't be coming to work tomorrow. September 14th, 1941. Pain unbearable. Won't stop bleeding. Ramona writes, September 20th, 1941. Still alive. The Nazi baby is gone. After the weekend, I go back to work. I have patients to tend to. I have Nazis to kill. January 5th, 1942. The Nazi appears to have poor reaction time. I learned this as I ran him over at the red light. I don't know what came over me. It was the middle of the day and people were looking. I drove away as fast as I could. I have to reduce the rate of my attacks or they will catch me. July 9th, 1943. The Nazi appears to be made of bacon. I learned this as 9 of them burned alive inside a late-night establishment. A lot can be accomplished with padlocks and gasoline. Father could smell the gasoline on my coat. I lied to him. He mustn't know what I have done. He's too sensitive. July 4th, 1944. The Nazi is a hopeless romantic. I learned this while smashing his skull using the hammer I had hid behind my back as he knelt to pick up my fallen glove. If I was a boy, Father would have taught me how to handle a rifle. But instead I was trained to nurse the afflicted, dig dirt for relics and write papers. I wish I knew a soldier. He could teach me how not to feel remorse. He would understand me. September 23rd, 1946. A man came in today. Horrible head trauma. He has scars all over him. He won't speak. No one knows where he's from. I think he's a soldier, but not a Nazi. I wish he could talk to me. He has a strength about him. July 10th, 1948. The war is over. The Nazis have declared victory. People are celebrating the peace. I can't stop crying. For me, this war is never ending. November 16th, 1951. The Nazi appears to have a hot temper. I learned this as I attempt to smash his head with a flower pot I dropped from my apartment window. Sadly, I missed. He had friends nearby. They broke my door down. I said it was an accident, but they gave me a black eye and spit on my dress. I want people on my side I can rely on. My grandparents are on my side, but they are not fit to fight. July 17th, 1955. The Nazi appears to be a choosy bachelor. I learned this as we sat on a picnic blanket in the meadowlands. He said he would kiss me if I bleached my hair blonde. I was nauseated by his request, but as long as I smile and hide the hate, no one is suspicious of me. So he drank the wine I spiked with sedatives, and I rolled him down a shallow grave. December 24th, 1956. My heart is breaking. Friends I've known my whole life have all become Nazis. Mother and father are not happy about it, but they comply rather than resist. I feign my smile and act cheerful, but I have started to resent my own parents. I am 33 years old. I am all alone in the world. May 6th, 1957. I should keep fighting, but who is there to fight? Everyone is a Nazi now, or at least they pretend to be. I can no longer tell the difference. August 28th, 1960. Death's Head's men are coming by the asylum every other week. They are taking people that have been in my care for years. I look the other way. I hate them. I hate myself for giving up, but I can't fight alone anymore. I watch the man with the scars. I whisper things to him. Sometimes I can see some part of him is awake. I wonder if he can see me. I will not let them take him. That was the last entry, William. Some of the things in this diary happened a long time ago, and some of them may have happened to me. I miss you. I missed you a long time before I met you.
Przestań! Nie! Pomocy! Pomocy! Nie! 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 Przestań! Tato! Mamo! Tato, nie! Pomocy! Pomocy! Pomóż mi! Pomocy! Pomocy! Czekałam na ciebie tak długo. Obudził się. Zaufaj mi, mamo. Po prostu wiem. Tato! Wkrótce to wszystko się skończy. Zostawię cię teraz przy oknie, w świetle. William, in here. Get inside. William? William? Everybody knows about it. Secret police headquarters is notorious here in Berlin. They bring prisoners inside for questioning. They torture them, and then they drive them back to Eisenwald prison, if they're still alive. Something's happening. There's a prison transport arriving. Come quickly! William! William! I know where to go. A way to get inside Eisenwald prison. There's a hotel. It's on the same street as secret police headquarters. Caroline, I've been wondering, would it be possible for you to give me some firearms training? I think so. William! 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 Thank you. Can I use your typewriter? Yes. My parents thought I should learn. Not really. It was useful during my time at the University of London for my doctorate in archaeology. Then the Blitz came and I had to go back home. I was only 16. William, I could use your help. Could you come over here for a second? Please? Have you looked for the concrete sample? I've seen some mold over there where they keep the aircraft. This is great, William. I still need those state records. Can you look in the archives room? I think it's right over there. It's like mathematical equations. And each solved equation brings you closer to God. No, the act of creation itself is the intended use. We have to get you to a doctor, William! William! What happened to you? You're bleeding. Entschuldigen Sie. Vielen Dank. Ich suche nach einem Café. Ist das hier in der Nähe? Oder wissen Sie vielleicht, wo es sich befindet? Vielen Dank. Möchten Sie mitkommen? Ich bin ein guter Zuhörer. Alles klar. Vielleicht später? Wir können einen Kaffee zusammen trinken, einen Spaziergang machen. Was meinen Sie? Wunderbar. Dann komme ich später wieder vorbei. Oh, und verraten Sie mir doch, Herr Offizier, haben Sie eine Freundin? Oder vielleicht eine Frau? Ach, das war bestimmt nur eine Katze. Ich bitte Sie, Kollege, entspannen Sie sich. Da ist nichts. Herr Offizier, bitte kommen Sie schon zurück. Das bringt doch nichts. Aber natürlich, Herr Offizier. Viel Glück. I can't believe you made it out of there. Here, take my hand. Reach up and grab my hand.
Up ahead is the reception area. I want you to go to the far end of the reception area, through the large doorway, and into the moon dome. Inside the moon dome is a door to the maintenance section. Look for a door on the outer wall near to the top of the dome. Look for a hatch on the wall. It's the access tunnel to the elevator shaft. Hopefully the elevators haven't suffered any damage from the blast. Look for a way up. Is there something you can climb? William, I'm looking at blueprints of the building. It's a long way to the top. Do you see the door to the maintenance section? It's in the star field, about halfway to the top of the dome. Can you find a way to reach it? I think you're in the room that's blacked out on the blueprint. The door is reinforced with blast shields. You'll have to find another way out. I see a small plumbing channel behind the north wall. Look for some form of access point near the floor. About 2 floors up is an access point leading directly into the hangar. You should be very close. The hangar is where the Project Whisper helicopter prototypes are kept. There's a control room on the upper level. From there, you can open the hangar.
Well done, William. This is as far as the tunnel glider will take you. Through the last section, you will have to swim. The catacombs are close. Well done, William. Through the last section, you will have to swim. The catacombs are close. Looks like you are backtracking, William. Okay, I guess you know what you're doing.
Our ground team is in position by the abandoned train station north of your location, William. They will meet you when you get there. William, can you hear me? You'll have to make your way all the way through the sewer tunnels and into the Berlin catacombs. I'll try to guide you through. You might have to exit the tunnel glider to neutralize obstacles in your way. Don't lose track of the tunnel glider. It's your only source of oxygen. Some areas might be too narrow for the tunnel glider. You may have to swim. You are right underneath the Eisenwald prison now. Caroline told me a few inmates tried to escape through the sewer system with some valuables a few years ago. They didn't make it very far. The section you are in now, it's been out of commission for a long time, but some machinery might still be manually operable. The deep basin was used to regulate overflow. You will have to find a way to reach the platform on the other side. Look for some mechanism to fill the basin with water. It will have to be all the way to the top for you to swim across. William, directly above you are the catacombs. There is an elevator that can take you right into the weapons depot. Locate the train and drive it to the abandoned underground train station north of there. Our people will be waiting for you at the station. Klaus will give you further details on the ground. If you're having trouble starting the train, it could be that the switch for the railway tracks is in the wrong orientation. There should be a control room nearby that will allow you to manipulate the switch.
The cooling fluid is just water being pumped. Look for the place they keep their diving suits. The captain has sealed the water intake. You will have to go to the outside of the submarine and cut open the water intake. There should be an airlock somewhere on the first level of the ship that leads to the outside. Look for the place they keep their diving suits.
The train should be arriving at the bridge any moment now. William, in accordance with protocol, Death's Head's chief research scientist will be wearing an all-white uniform. The spacesuits are kept by the airlock. Your best chance to reach them is first go through the crew quarters, then onwards through the laboratories. There should be a service tunnel leading from the crew quarters to the laboratories. Try to figure out a way to access it, William. There is one more service tunnel connecting the laboratories to the airlock. Can you find it? There is an encryption-decryption database mainframe inside the war room. Find the war room, access the computer, and print out the nuclear decryption keys. The command module is where the new generation super soldaten are being manufactured. From what we know, there should be a point of entry to the war room from that area.